Welcome to part 2. If you're just joining us, I recommend watching part 1 first. It's full of foundational tips to get you started. For this part, we'll focus on proper dwell time, color coding, the basic science behind cleaning, building a cleaning routine that actually works, and more. Let's get into it. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: dwell time. Dwell time is the amount of time a cleaning or disinfecting product needs to stay on a surface to be effective. Here's why it's so important. If you spray cleaner or disinfectant and immediately wipe it off, you're not giving it enough time to do its job. Cleaning products need time to break down grime, and disinfectants need time to kill germs effectively. For example, if you're cleaning a greasy stove top, letting your degreaser sit for a couple of minutes softens the grease, making it much easier to wipe away. If you're disinfecting a countertop, most disinfectants need at least 5 to 10 minutes of contact time to kill germs like E. coli or Salmonella. Skipping dwell time often means extra scrubbing, or worse, not effectively removing bacteria and germs. So instead of rushing through the process, let the product do the heavy lifting. Here's how to make it work practically. Spray your cleaner and move on to another task while it sits. For instance, spray your bathroom sink, then clean the toilet while the product works its magic. Trust me, allowing proper dwell time saves effort and ensures you're getting the most out of your cleaning products. Check out my video on how to clean an oven where dwell time is crucial. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite tips to simplify cleaning: color coding. This little system not only keeps your cleaning efficient, but also prevents cross-contamination. Here's the idea. Assign a specific color to each cleaning area in your home. For example, here are my cleaning kits: pink for the kitchen, blue for the bathroom, and green for the toilet. Keep your cleaning supplies, cloths, brushes, and even spray bottles in these colors, and you will always know which tool belongs to which space. My cleaning baskets are stocked with the essentials I need for each room, and I store them in their respective areas for easy access. It's a grab-and-go system that saves time and keeps me organized. Color coding is a game changer when it comes to cleaning. First off, it makes everything so much more efficient. You're not running around the house trying to find the right cloth or tool. Everything has its place, and you know exactly what to grab. It's also a huge win for hygiene. By using specific colors for different areas like the bathroom, kitchen, or toilet, you avoid accidentally using the same sponge or cloth in multiple spaces, which could spread bacteria. And here's another big plus: clarity. A color-coded system is simple for everyone in the household to understand and follow. Whether it's you, your partner, or even the kids helping you out, it eliminates any confusion and makes teamwork so much easier. Plus, for kids, it can actually be fun. They get to learn which color goes with which room, turning cleaning into a game rather than a chore. Here's how to start. Choose colors for each room and stock up on matching cleaning supplies. Keep everything organized in baskets or caddies. Label your baskets if needed, especially if others will be helping with the cleaning. It's a small change that makes a big difference in your cleaning routine, keeping your home cleaner and your process stress-free. I wish I knew this tip growing up. And here's the thing: cleaning isn't just about wiping something down and calling it a day. There is science involved. Grease, grime, and bacteria all require different approaches. Grease is oily, so if you just use water on it, you are not breaking it down, you're just moving it around. That's why we need something like soap to break down those molecules. Soap and water work together to lift the grease so you can rinse it away. Understanding the why behind these processes can really change the way you clean. Think of cleaning as more of a reaction than just scrubbing or wiping. Here's the science in simple terms. Every mess, whether it's grease, grime, or dirt, has a unique makeup. When we apply a cleaner to a mess, we're essentially putting it to work on a chemical level to break down and loosen that mess. Alright, so here's a foundational rule in cleaning that can make things so much easier. Acids tackle bases, and bases tackle acids. It's a simple concept, but once you understand it, you'll be able to choose the right cleaner for almost any type of mess. Here's how it works. Acidic cleaners like white vinegar or lemon juice are great for breaking down alkaline or basic substances. Common alkaline messes in the home include things like hard water stains, soap scum, mineral deposits. Because these are alkaline, an acidic cleaner like vinegar can dissolve them effectively. So if you've got hard water buildup on your faucet or soap scum on your shower door, vinegar is your go-to. Basic cleaners like baking soda are great at tackling acidic messes. Grease, grime, many food stains tend to be slightly acidic, so baking soda, a mild base, works well to lift and neutralize them. That's why baking soda is so effective in the kitchen, especially on stovetops, pots and pans. To put it simply, the golden rule in cleaning is to match your cleaner to the type of mess. Use an acidic cleaner for your mineral-based or alkaline stains. Use a basic cleaner for grease, grime and organic buildup. This method doesn't just make cleaning easier, it also makes it faster and more effective. When you're using the right type of cleaner for the job, you're letting science to do the hard work for you. So next time you clean, remember, acids for bases, bases for acids. Once you have that in mind, choosing the right cleaner becomes a breeze. While the golden rule of acids tackling bases and vice versa is a valuable principle in cleaning, it's important to consider other factors: surface compatibility, specific stain composition, and safety when choosing cleaning products. A comprehensive understanding of cleaning chemistry, including pH levels and the nature of different soils, will help you achieve the best results in your cleaning tasks. Here's a mistake some people make: mixing products that shouldn't be mixed. For example, Castile soap and vinegar. You'd think combining two natural cleaners would be great, right? But nope. These two react with each other in a way that makes them less effective. They neutralize each other, and you're left with a curdled mess that doesn't clean well at all. Again, this isn't something you would necessarily know unless you've experienced it or you've learned about this chemistry behind it. It's one of those things that makes cleaning less intuitive than people think. Mixing acids and bases can sometimes create dangerous reactions, so knowing which products are acidic or basic helps prevent accidental combinations. Certain cleaners, when combined, can actually work against each other, reduce effectiveness, or even create harmful or toxic byproducts. Let's look at a few common examples to understand why it's important to avoid mixing cleaners and what to do instead. Neutralization. Some products cancel each other out. Take baking soda base and vinegar and acid. On their own, each is a powerful cleaner, but together they neutralize each other, leaving you with mostly water and a mild salt. This neutralized mixture lacks the power of each ingredient, so it's not nearly as effective. Toxic reactions. Some combinations create harmful gases. A common and dangerous mix is bleach and vinegar, which releases chlorine gas, potentially very harmful, even at low exposure levels. Unwanted byproducts. Even less obvious mixes can create unwanted chemical byproducts that either leave harmful residues or just make cleaning more difficult. These residues can make surfaces sticky or leave films that attract more dirt, meaning more work for you in the long run. The best way to avoid these risks? Stick to using one product at a time. Or if needed, follow up with another after rinsing. For instance, if you're dealing with hard water stains, start with vinegar. Need to tackle some stubborn grease? Baking soda is perfect for that. After using your first cleaner, make sure to rinse and wipe the surface thoroughly before moving on to the next one. This step is crucial and it prevents any unwanted chemical reactions between products and keeps your cleaning safe and effective. And don't forget to read the labels on your cleaning supplies. Many products come with clear warnings about what not to mix. These aren't just for suggestions, they are there to keep you safe. When cleaning, sometimes simple single ingredient solutions work best. Vinegar, baking soda, and dish soap can handle a surprising variety of cleaning jobs on their own without needing to mix with anything else. Remember, avoid unnecessary mixing to keep things safe and stick to simple, straightforward cleaning methods. This approach not only makes cleaning more effective, but also keeps your home environment safer. One of the most important things about cleaning is efficiency, and that comes with technique. For instance, when wiping down a surface, always work from top to bottom. Why? Gravity does the work for you, pulling dust and dirt downward. So you're not undoing your progress by recontaminating areas you've already cleaned. Or take cleaning glass. Using a squeegee with the right motion is key to getting a streak-free shine. In my window cleaning video, I demonstrate the S pattern that professionals follow, which helps them save time and effort. Little techniques like this might not be intuitive, but once you learn them, they make a world of difference. These little methods might not seem obvious at first, but once you get the hang of them, they will save you time and effort and give you professional looking result every time. Another thing that is not always intuitive, routine. Cleaning isn't just about getting everything spotless once and then forgetting about it. It's about maintaining your space regularly. A good routine means you spend less time cleaning overall because things never get too out of control. Taking a few minutes each day to tidy up, wipe down surfaces, or sweep the floors can prevent bigger messes from piling up. And trust me, it makes cleaning feel a lot less overwhelming. A lot of us think we need to set aside an entire day to get everything done. But honestly, that can end up feeling overwhelming and exhausting. Instead, breaking tasks down into smaller, manageable pieces throughout the week can make a huge difference. Here's an idea. Try doing just one thing each day. Maybe on Mondays, you do a small load of laundry. By doing a few small loads during the week, you avoid the dreaded laundry mountain piling up on the weekend. Or let's say Tuesdays are for the bathroom. One day you just clean the toilet. That's it. The next day, maybe you clean the sink. And then on Thursday, mop the floor. Suddenly, you've kept up with the whole bathroom over the week without tackling it all at once. This approach doesn't just spread out the work, it also keeps your home consistently cleaner. And when you are doing small tasks every day, they don't build up and take as much time. It feels more like a series of quick wins instead of a big chore hanging over your head. So pick a few small things to tackle each day. Maybe clean out the fridge one evening, do a quick dust on the shelves on another. You'll feel more in control, less stressed, and actually have a cleaner, more organized space all week long. The great news, you can always learn. Cleaning may not be intuitive, but with a little knowledge, it becomes a lot easier. There are tons of resources out there, whether it's books, videos like this one, or even just experimenting on your own. And that's why I love making these videos, to help you learn the techniques that will save you time and effort while keeping your home clean, naturally and effectively. So remember, cleaning is not always intuitive, but it's a skill you can master. Start by learning the basics, then build from there, and you'll be surprised how much easier and faster cleaning can become with the right approach. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos for more tips and tricks on natural cleaning. See you in the next video.